Okay, so we're going to look now at expressions involving multiplication and division and still with the index laws. So if you're going to multiply two things together or divide them, it says to deal with the coefficients, which are the numbers, and then each letter separately. So when you do a calculation like this, the first thing that I'm going to do is deal with the 2, and it's all going to be multiplied by. So it's going to be a 2 multiplied by a 5, which is a 10. I've then got a squared multiplied by a cubed. Now remember, with multiplication, you add the powers, so it would be a to the power of 5. B cubed times b, that's b to the power of 1 really, isn't it? So that's going to be adding the powers and you get b to the power of 4. That's a c to the power of 1 and a c to the power of 4. You add those powers and you get c to the power of 5. Now that was because I was using this law that if you have a to the power of b multiplied by a to the power of c, you add the powers. Now the next one is division. So the rule is going to be, if you do division, you subtract the powers. So we're going to have to be careful with that. So the first thing is doing 15 divided by 3, which is 5. X squared divided by x, that's x to the power of 1, and 2 take away 1 is 1, so I'm just going to write x. And then we have y cubed divided by y squared, so I'll do 3 take away 2, which is 1, but I don't need to write that one, so it's just going to be 5xy. Okay, this one that we've got here, I have a 12 being divided by 3. 12 divided by 3 is 4. I then have m to the power of 4 divided by m to the power of 1, or just m, so that's m cubed. And then I have n to the power of 5 and n cubed. You're going to do 5 take away 3, and you get n squared. Now this one, I'm going to start off by doing this bit, and then I'll do the multiplication afterwards. So I'm going to simplify. I've got the 10 divided by 15. Now, if I'm trying to work out 10 divided by 15, I actually don't want to get a decimal. I'm actually just going to simplify the fraction. And when I simplify the fraction, I can see that they both are in the 5 times table. So if I divide the top one by 5 and the bottom one by 5, I get 2/3. Now, sometimes you see people doing this like on top of the fraction. They go, okay, I'll just divide that by 5, and I'll divide that by 5, and they kind of go straight to what the answer is like that. Whatever works best for you, okay? So the starting bit, I'm only looking at the thing on the left here, is going to be 2 over 3 for the numbers. I've then got p cubed divided by p. P cubed divided by p is going to be p squared. And then I have q squared divided by q to the power of 4. So 2 take away 4 is minus 2. And this is going to be multiplied by 4p squared q cubed. So all I need to do is deal with the numbers. First of all, for this bit, I'm going to do the 2/3 times 4. Well, if I do 2/3 times 4, really it's just the numerators here that are going to multiply. So 2 times 4 is 8, so it is just 8/3. For the p parts, it's p squared times p squared, which is p to the 4. And for the q part, I'm going to be adding minus 2 and 3 together, and minus 2 plus 3 is actually just 1, so I can just leave it as 8 over 3 p to the power of 4q. So there are some questions for you to have a go at here. Pause the video and have a go and see if you get the same answer as me. Okay, so 4 times 8 is 32. A squared times a squared is a to the power of 4. B cubed times b is b to the power of 4. And then there's just a c by itself, so I can just still leave it there. Okay, 24 divided by 12 is 2. X to the power of 4 divided by x, that's like x to the power of 1, is just going to be x cubed. And y to the power of 5 divided by y squared, 5 take away 2 is 3. Okay, the 15 divided by the 3 is 5. P squared divided by p is p. And q cubed divided by q is q squared. And then this one, I'm going to deal with this first bit. Now, the 4 over 6, I could simplify that to a 2 over 3. I've halved the top and I've halved the bottom. You might see people just doing it straight on here like this. So it is 2/3. Now, for the x part, I've got x squared and x cubed. 2 take away 3 is minus 1. Y to the 4 and y to the 2, subtract the powers and you get y squared. And now I'm going to do the multiplication, which is timesing it by 2x to the 4, y to the minus 1. So the 2/3 times 2, 2 lots of 2/3 is 4/3. And then I've got x to the minus 1 and x to the 4, which is going to be x to the minus 1 plus 4 is 3. And then I've got for the last part, I've got y squared and y minus 1. 2 take away 1 is 1. So I'm just going to leave it as 4 over 3 x cubed y. Now this is a challenge. If you've got to this bit and you're like, this is a little bit too much for me right now, then you don't need to look at this. But the reason I want to say this challenge is just to show you that there are different ways of writing your final answer. And it's important to see that they are equivalent, particularly if you know that you're going to be doing A-level maths, just to be able to jump back and forth between different versions that we've got here. So I'm going to do these two examples. You've got two to have a go at, and then that's everything on index laws done. Okay, so to begin with, I can see the 2 and the 6 here. The 2 and the 6 I can simplify by dividing by 2. Now if I divide that by 2, it just becomes a 1, which I don't really need to write, but I can, and that's going to be a 3. So my first part is going to be a third. I've then got an x squared and an x. X squared divided by x is just x. And then I've got y to the minus 3 divided by y to the minus 1. Y to the minus 3 divided by y to the minus 1. Well, that means I'm taking the power minus 3 and I'm subtracting minus 1, which means I'm adding 1. So actually the power is going to be minus 2. Well, let's think about the alternative way of writing this, because in the last video I talked about how these expressions here and here could be written in a different way because of these minuses. So it's fine if you leave it like this, but you might want to see that it's an equivalent way of doing it. So I'm going to write each part separately. The third I'm going to keep as the third. The x I'm going to keep as the x. And the y as the minus 2, I'm going to write y 1 over y squared like this. Now really the x is over a 1 like that, but I don't think we need that. Actually the x is belonging in the numerator and the 3 and the y squared are in the denominator. So with fractions you can just multiply the numerators together, and 1 times x times 1 is x, and then you can multiply the denominators together, and the denominator is just the 3 and the y squared. Like I said, there is a 1 there, but we don't even really need it because multiplying by 1 doesn't do anything. So we get x over 3y squared. That is equivalent to this. This thing here is exactly the same as this. They look different, but they mean the same thing. So let's try this slightly trickier one. I'm going to start off by just doing this bit to begin with, okay? Now the 14 and the 21 are both in the 7 times table, so if I divide that by 7 and I divide that by 7, I get 2 over 3. So I have 2 over 3. I've then got a to the minus 3 and a squared, so that's minus 3 minus 2. A to the minus 3 divided by a to the 2 is a to the minus 5. And then for the last part, b to the 4 and b squared is just going to be b to the power of 2. And I'm still going to be multiplying it by 4a to the minus 1b. So I'm going to deal with the numbers. 2/3 times 4. 4 times 2/3 is 8/3. I've then got its multiplication, so I'm going to be adding the powers. Minus 5 add minus 1 is minus 6. You can always check these things on your calculator. If you want to do minus 5 add minus 1, you can see that you get minus 6. I'm then going to do b squared times b. That's got a power of 1, so it's b cubed. Now to do this, this is perfectly correct, but we still want to do an equivalent version of this. We have the 8 over 3. A to the power of minus 6 is 1 over a to the power of 6. And we have b cubed. Notice I'm kind of putting b cubed in the top. So when I multiply these top things together, I just get 8b cubed. And the bottom things, I get 3a to the 6. So this is the alternative way of writing this. And people prefer this in lots of ways because we have no negatives and things are either in the numerator or the denominator correctly. So you've got these two questions to have a go at. Pause the video, see if you get the same answer as me after you've had a go. Okay, so in this one, I can divide the top and bottom just looking at the numbers. If that's in the 3 times table, that's also in the 3 times table. 3 over 18 simplifies to 1 over 6. P squared and p to the power of 4 is going to go to p to the power of minus 2, because 2 take away 4 is minus 2. And then we have q cubed and q squared. We're subtracting the powers, so we just get q. So we have a 6th, and that is being multiplied by 1 over p squared. And that is being multiplied by q, which belongs up with the numerators. So we get the numerators 1 times q, which is q, and in the bottom we get 6 times p squared, which is 6p squared. So this is, I think, a better answer than this one, but this would still get you the answer most of the time, but it's just worth knowing that they are equivalent to each other. So I'm going to start off with this one here to begin with. You could multiply them first of all and then divide them. I just like doing this division first, but remember you could do the 12 times the 3 first of all and do the division afterwards. So 12 and 8, they're both in the 4 times table. So if I divide that by 4 and I divide that by 4, I get 3 over 2. I've then got m cubed divided by m, so it's 3 take away 1, that's m squared. And then I have n squared and n to the minus 3. We're doing 2 take away negative 3, or 2 plus 3, which is 5. And that's going to be multiplied by 3m to the power of minus 2, and then n to the power of minus 4. So we get 3 over 2 times 3, that's 9 over 2. We then get m squared and m to the minus 2. Well, interestingly, you get 2 and minus 2. When you add those together, you get m to the power of 0. So we'll talk about that in a second. And then for the last one, we have n to the power of 5 and n to the power of minus 4. That is just going to be n to the power of 1. So this one's interesting because it's not actually going to look quite like these ones as a comparison, but we have m to the power of 0. Now we said anything to the power of 0 is 1, so it's 9 over 2 times by 1 times by n. So we could say that the numerator is 9n, 9 times 1 times n, and the denominator is 2. Equally, you could have just said that it is 9 over 2n, but these things that we've got here and here are equivalent. If you're not sure about this part, that m to the 0 is 1, anything to the power of 0 is 1. Okay, so that's the end of index laws. I hope that's really helped you out with this topic. Found this video helpful? Then why not drop it a like and consider subscribing to my channel. This is the end of the playlist, but head to my channel's homepage to see what else I might be able to help you with. And as always, wishing you the very best for all your studies.